the Restore. I'm very happy to be leading you through a restorative practice today. So hopefully you've gathered lots of props, bolster, a couple of blocks, a couple of blankets, maybe a weight for your low hips, an eye pillow, all the things to support your body, support your practice, and really invite yourself into being comfortable during this practice. So let's begin by coming into a comfortable, supported seat. Those of you who have any issues with your body, you're welcome to sit in a chair or the edge of your couch. Otherwise, you can come into whatever seat is calling to you this morning. Sitting on the edge of a blanket, as I am, or sitting on your bolster if you like to be up a little higher. Sitting however you feel comfortable. Just beginning to invite your body into practice. So with Restore, we practice Restore to let our physical bodies rest and to invite our mind to have more of a focus so we can truly rest, and then we restore. We restore what's called our vital life sap, our ojas, our energy. And sometimes something awakens within us, so many positive things can come out of practicing a Restore session. So I'm glad that you're here. So in this world, we deal with a lot. That's putting it mildly, right? So today, as we begin to sit, I'd like to invite you to come into a mudra with me. And this mudra is Samana Mudra. Can you all see me? Lift your hands. Okay, good. So we're going to take both hands, and we're going to bring the tips of all the fingers to the thumb. We're going to bring the right hand right into the navel. So just let it rest into your navel. The other hand rests palm up. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And then relax your shoulders, relax your elbows. Let the chin come in slightly as you lift the crown so we have length in the spine. And just lightly rest this mudra. Samana Mudra helps us to digest. And there are many things for us to digest. We digest our food and our drink, whatever we physically put into our bodies. But we also need to digest all the things that we take in during our day. The news, the media, things that people say to us, things that we say to ourselves. Sometimes those things are more difficult to digest. So this mudra will help. This mudra helps to move prana around the belly in a circular motion, kind of stirring up digestive juices. So let's go ahead and close down the eyes or find a gazeless gaze off the tip of the nose, wherever you're most comfortable. Move the jaws around a little bit, inviting the jaws and the neck and the face to de-stress and relax a bit. And then just let the jaws rest. Have a little space between your layers of teeth, maybe even between your lips. Welcome yourself into practice. Invite yourself into practice. Sometimes it's really good to talk to ourselves. Invite yourself in. Let your body be soft now. Your bones will hold you, gravity will hold you, Mother Earth will hold you. Let your body be soft as you settle into your seat. Relax the shoulders and elbows as best you can, even while holding this mudra at the navel. Begin to notice how your body's breathing. Just tune in to that nourishment of life force coming in, and that letting go, that cleansing of what the body says is no longer needed, letting go. This beautiful process that happens on its own, and for now, we'll just tune into this process and note, be an observer on how it's happening. breathing in through the nose, no force, no effort. Exhaling through the nose, again, no control, no force, no effort. Just breathing in and breathing out. You might think of each breath in as nourishment, bringing in oxygen, which we know our bodies need. We're bringing in prana, which is vital energy. Bringing in extra prana to help that move for our bodies, to find that subtle energetic movement. So important. Just tune in to yourself and your breath. You might notice the qualities of your breath. Is the breath quiet? Is the breath even? The inhale and the exhale, maybe of equal length. Is the breath consistent? Or maybe there are pauses or bumps. Just notice. And then if you need to take just a tiny bit of guidance to smooth out the breath, to invite in those qualities, do that. Smooth, quiet, even, and consistent. Very little effort. You might already begin to notice that maybe the nervous system is beginning to bring some calm to you. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more of a balance or centering within yourself. Just observing the breath, just sitting with the breath is such a key practice to do. Now, as we continue to hold this Samana Mudra for digestion, I'm going to invite you into a 3-part yogi breath. All you need to do is breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose, and just listen. I'll guide you. So as you inhale, breathe right into your navel. Feel the belly expand right where your mudra is. And then pull the breath up through the ribs. Feel the ribs expand all the way up to the collarbones. Fill up to the collarbones. And then exhale through the nose, releasing from the collarbones, through the ribs, down through the navel center. And we'll begin again. Inhale into the navel, into the ribs. Feel that expansion all the way up into the collarbones. And then exhale from the collarbones. Feel the release and the contraction coming back toward the center. Collarbones, through the ribs, all the way through the belly. Maybe even pulling the navel in at the very end of your exhale. Then once again, softening to begin again. Inhale to the navel. Fill the belly all the way around. We're 3-dimensional. Inhale into the ribs all the way around. Up all the way to the collarbones. Notice how it feels to be full. And then begin to release from the collarbones, through the ribs, all the way through the navel, and then pull the navel in, keeping your mudra connected to the navel center. Release the navel, and let's take a few more rounds, doing this at your own length of breath. Beginning with the navel, the ribs, the collarbones. Exhaling from the collarbones, the ribs, the navel. Take 2 more rounds on your own, letting those inhales and pauses be as long as you choose. After you finish, after that last exhale, after you release the navel, Let the mudra at your navel center just come to rest. Sitting up, back of your hand resting on your leg. You might notice that Samana Mudra is like a little flame, reminding us of that flame of digestion called Agni. We have 40 Agnis in the body. How amazing is that? The main Agni being that fire of digestion, digesting food, beverage, and our thoughts. All that we take in. I'll invite you now if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, and I just encourage you to set something of self-care for you. It's not selfish, it's self-care. It's really important. But of course, whatever is in your heart, bring that in. Finish setting your intention. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let your chin come to your chest and exhale through the mouth. Slowly, mindfully, let it go, let it go, let it go. And stay here, chin to chest. Bring the top of the shoulders away from the ears. Relax the jaws. Let your awareness go to the back of the neck. The very base of the neck, the muscles along the back of the neck, and right at the base, the top of the shoulders. Let your awareness go there and invite your breath to help clear a path, open up. Chin stays tucked in so we get that stretch, inviting the muscles and the fascia to release, to find more length, to let go of their tightness and gripping. Just a few more breaths here. Good. On your next inhale, bring your head back up to neutral. And then wiggle into your fingers, releasing Samana Mudra. Wiggle into the joints, inviting some movement there. And let's just reach for one wrist, and we'll shake it 5 times. And then the other. Very simple, but getting into the joint of the wrist. All we need to do. We're going to sit for just another short time. If you've had your legs crossed, you might cross them the opposite way, or just make a little change if you need to. If you're comfortable to stay where you are, stay where you are. So let's bring the fingertips right outside the hips, resting on your mat. We're going to inhale the arms up overhead. Keep the inside of the elbows closed, but pull these front ribs in. And now as you reach from the fingertips, pull the shoulder blades down. So we have this opposite movement of energy. Fingertips lift up, shoulder blades lift down. And we're bringing the arms close in to our ears. Stretch that right arm a little taller. And on your exhale, let it come all the way behind you. Let your fingertips rest behind you. Keep the torso nice and tall. Maybe your fingertips are on a block. Now inhale and lengthen through that left arm. And as you exhale, let it come to the outside of your right thigh, or maybe resting on your right thigh. Roll that right shoulder up, back, and down 3 times. And then open it up. Let your head be neutral, but let it be gazing over the right shoulder. So think of opening the whole front of your heart. There. Opening up the chest. Notice where you feel the twist. Maybe right along the navel. Again, getting into that seat of Agni. Maybe along the back body. Where do you feel the twist? And imagine healthy prana coming up, all the way up through the spine. Continue to stay. And we're going to practice a breath called breath of fire. Breath of fire is a very fast breath. It's a forced exhale exhale out, forced inhale all through the nose. Very fast, and you'll feel some movement probably in your navel, in your chest. Keep the jaws relaxed. We'll begin with a forced exhale, and just do as many as you can. Stay in your twist. Let's begin. When you've had enough, let it go. And now just rotate your head over your left shoulder. Keep that left shoulder down. Eyes can stay closed. Notice what you feel around the navel, the heart, the throat, the head. Breath of fire is a very energizing breath. Just like our Samana Mudra, getting rid or helping us to digest, this breath of fire helps us to transition. The body, the subtle body, our energetic self, opening up with a clearing. Bring your arms up overhead again. Find that great position where your sit bones are down, the shoulder blades are down, but the fingertips are reaching. Keep the front ribs pulled in. Now extend your left arm a little taller. Bring it all the way behind you. Let the fingertips reach for the floor or a prop. Inhale, let the right arm be longer, and then let that come to the outside of your left thigh or on the thigh. Roll the left shoulder up, back, and down 3 times. Open up the front shoulder, so you're opening the heart center, opening the chest. Your gaze is over the left shoulder, but your eyes might be closed, but that's the direction of your body. Sit nice and tall. Keep the torso nice and tall. Relax the jaws. Open the heart. We're going to come into another practice of breath of fire, starting with a forced exhale. If for any reason you feel like you're dizzy or it just doesn't feel right, take it slow or completely stop. Let's begin. Keep going, do as many as you can as long as it feels comfortable. And then let it go. Slowly turn your head over your right shoulder. Let your body stay in the twist. Keep opening the heart center. Jaws are relaxed, eyes might be closed. Tune in to what you feel. Breath of fire brings that flame, right? The flames around the navel, around the heart, the throat, clearing out some of these main chakras, these energy centers. Maybe clearing out the nostrils, offering a little more space in the midbrain. Let's inhale the arms back to center. Reach up one more time with the fingertips. Pull down with the shoulder blades. See if you can bring the elbows, the insides in a little closer. Pull the front ribs in. Press into the sit bones. Reach up. Turn your palms out on an exhale. Just let them float all the way down. Good. Go ahead and come out of your seat. And we'll just take a little bit of warming for the body. Start on the outer side of your hips. We're going to rub all the way down around the toes and back to the center. It might be a tapping or it might be a rubbing. We're inviting the immune system to kick in. We're touching ourselves, so we're inviting prana to move. And that's probably all we need on the legs. We'll do the same thing with the arms, one at a time. Begin at the outer edge, come all the way down along the fingers in this circle. Just 3 times. Again, you can be tapping or you can be rubbing. Good. And when we finish this arm, let's just find some squeezing under the armpits, asking those lymph nodes to do the job. Keep our immune system strong. Let's go to the other arm. Start on the outer edge, all the way down and up. Rubbing or tapping. Again, after the third one, find some squeezing along the armpits. Lymph nodes, get those toxins out of my body. It's all about releasing and restoring, finding ourselves in the best health that we can. Good. You can let that go. And I'm going to invite you to come into a child's pose. We won't stay here for a long hold pose, but we're going to begin here. You might even fold over a bolster if that's more comfortable for you. Let's have the knees nice and wide, the big toes together. You might have a blanket between your seat and your heels, and let your forehead come all the way down. Let your arms reach out, but not reaching, resting the elbows. Forehead down, chin tucked in. Just inviting the body into the shape to kind of open up the hips in a very mindful, subtle way. Relax the jaws. And connect with your breath here. Let the belly just rest. Let it be soft. Soften your body wherever you can. Now let your fingertips crawl forward until you're on the fingertips and both palms are lifted. Pull back on your seat. And similar to what we did when we were sitting, we're reaching out through the fingertips, pulling the base of the shoulder blades down. Again, inviting the lymph nodes along the side body and the armpits to do their job. Finding a nice stretch in the side body. And now let's walk the hands over to the right. Just where it's comfortable, head stays down. Maybe your left hand comes over the right wrist. And notice what you feel on the left side of your body. Breathe into the left side of your body as you rest in this stretch. Keep the jaws nice and relaxed. Breathe in and out through the nose. Good. Let's slowly and mindfully move back through center. And this time all the way over to the left side. Maybe your right hand sits on the left wrist. Pull back with that right sit bone, that right glute. Find a deep stretch in the right body, right side. And breathe into that, opening up. Good. After your next exhale, come back to center. Forehead down, reach out to the fingertips. Pull back on the seat. One more deep stretch here. And then mindfully walk your body back and come out of your child's pose. Good. Let's get ready for our first long hold pose. So we'll begin. Take one of your blankets. And you'll want this blanket to be fairly long. And we're going to roll it up flat, kind of like a flat noodle is how I like to think of it. We're going to come onto this blanket, and mine's a really thin blanket. Yours might be a little thicker. Okay? And then place that blanket about, 18 inches from the top of your mat, letting it be parallel with your mat. Take another blanket, or even your bolster, and roll that blanket up. That's going to go under your knees. So what we're going to do is imagine that this long noodle blanket is going to be our spine. And so the other blanket or bolster will get set up so it will go under your knees. And I want just the very edge of the cervical spine to be hanging or supported off the edge of this blanket. So ideally, your blanket is about 4 inches high, and if you can see, it just touches the very edge of the base of my neck. That way I get a little lift and support for the curve of my cervical spine. And then this blanket is stimulating our whole spinal column and the nervous system around it. So your blanket is under your knees or maybe your ankles for extra support. You might have a weight over your low hips, and maybe there's something over your eyes. Once you get settled in, then rotate the palms open out at a 45-degree angle. So halfway between your body and the shoulders. And then settle in. Make sure your back is comfortable here. Having something under the knees, maybe even elevating higher, might feel better for you. Once you come into your pose, find the stillness. Take a breath in through the nose, and take a slow, mindful release out the mouth. Let it go. And settle in. Settle into this blanket spine. Relax the jaws. Soften the body from the toe tips all the way up through the bottom of the legs and the knees, the hips, the torso, the heart center, collarbones, the shoulders. Relax the back of your head. Know that your cervical spine is being supported, as is the rest of your spine. Relax into the pose. And we invite our physical body to rest. Let go of all muscle and tension, letting the prop support us. And then we invite our mind to have a focus. When the mind has one focus, it tends to be less busy. So maybe your focus is a very grounding sound of gum, G-U-M, gum, 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 gum. Perhaps you bring in an image of a beautiful place where you like to be, a place that brings you peace and joy. And if you have anything else that you often use, find what works for you and just settle in with that. Be here for several minutes, just rest. I'll call you out when it's time. Been here just a very short time in this pose. Is the mind already trying to play tricks on you? Call it back with your focus. Whatever you're using. If what you're using isn't working, try something else. Anywhere else in the body you can let go. Letting go means to release, to soften. Maybe it's the fingertips or the toes, the hips. Can you soften any deeper and just be within yourself, nice and deep? Inviting your body to rest, to ultimately restore energy. continue to be within yourself, keeping the body soft, offering your mind to focus. I'm going to invite you to just scan the length of your spine. In your mind's eye, bring your awareness to the tip of your tailbone. And just imagine seeing your spine moving all the way up your back body, all the way up around the cervical spine where your head is resting over your blanket. And then let your exhale just wash over you. Again, beginning at the tailbone, just connecting with your spine as you take a breath. Inhaling up the length of the spine, all the way around the cervical spine, the neck, and exhaling, letting what's not needed wash over you. Take one more of these. Maybe the breath is longer and deeper now. From the tip of the tail all the way up the spine, and letting your exhale wash over you. We're going to come out of this pose where you're resting like on a noodle blanket spine. So first begin by just rocking the back of your head side to side very gently. Inviting a little movement into the neck. The neck's been getting a nice deep stretch along the back. And then bring your head to stillness. Begin to circle your wrists and your ankles. On an inhale, reach your arms overhead like we've been doing so many times, all the way over onto your mat, and then reach your toes the opposite way. This time find a full body stretch. Make sure the tips of the bottom of the shoulder blades stay down as you reach and extend. And then on an exhale, let the arms come back down by your sides. And bring your knees toward your chest. Just mindfully rolling off to either side, coming off of your blanket spine. And resting in the fetal position, knees up toward the navel, resting on your bottom arm. Take the palm of your top arm, place it on the floor to your chest, press into the floor, and inhale, come all the way up. Just come back up to a seat. Don't need to get settled into a seat, just let yourself lift up. And just sit for a few moments, close your eyes, and just notice if you can feel any obvious effects from that practice. That practice was to invite some movement of prana along the spine and to really stretch the cervical spine. So just tune in for a few moments. Just ask your body to present to you what it will. Just taking a few breaths here. Good. Let's inhale long and deep. Exhale through the mouth. Let it go. And open your eyes. Good. Welcome back. While we're sitting, we're going to come into another breath practice, just something very simple. And then we'll come into another restore practice. So just make sure you're nice and comfortable. This time we're going to hold prana mudra. It looks like a peace sign on both hands. And then rest your palms up. Again, really resting into your shoulders. We're going to invite some humming in. Humming will help move prana from the heart to the throat up to the third eye space. So on each inhale, we'll turn our head a certain way. And always as we come back to center will be a hum. We'll inhale and turn, hum to center. I'll guide you. So you can feel free to close your eyes. Inhale right, hum to center. Hum. Inhale left, hum to center. Hum. Inhale, lift and open the throat. And hum back to center. Hum. Inhale, chin to chest. Hum to center. Hum. Inhale right. Back to center. Hum. Inhale left. Hum. Inhale, lift. Hum. Chin to chest. Inhale. Hum. Inhale right. Hum. Inhale left. Hum. Inhale, lift. Hum. Inhale, chin to chest. Hum. And just stay here in the center. And just again, be a witness to your practice and the effects. Tune in to the heart center. Observe the throat center. Bring your awareness to the space between the eyebrows and maybe deeper into the midbrain. Just notice what your personal experience is. Often this practice, this version of Brahma Mudra will bring some clearing, some calming as we invite stretching through all the muscles of the neck. Just notice what it brought to you. Let's take a breath in through the nose. Let it out the mouth. You can open your eyes, wiggle in to your fingers again, getting movement in the joints. Good. And let's prepare for our next restorative long hold pose. This time is going to be a twist, and I'll give you some options for the twist. So you might want to get a bolster ready. It can be a twist where you let your legs rest on a bolster. So you might bring that just midway out from the center of your mat. We're going to get set up and then we'll go on to our backs. And then I'd like you to take one of your blankets and let it be folded something like this, just sort of a nice rectangle. And that's going to go between, mine's not quite long enough, I'm going to lengthen it a little more. It goes between the knees and the ankles. So I'm just showing you how to set that up. That's just to soften the bones. So you can let your feet come to the center of your mat. You can mindfully bring your body down onto your mat all the way down. Blanket between the knees and ankles. And then on an exhale, bring your knees up toward the chest. From here, we're going to shift the hips just a few inches to the right. And then we'll let the knees come down to the left. If you're watching me, you might see how all of your legs, as much of your legs as you choose, can rest on the bolster. If the bolster doesn't feel quite comfortable for you, you can let your knees come all the way to the floor. It should feel very comforting. And then work into your shoulders. So both shoulder blades are on your mat. If one is lifted at any height, take a blanket and set it underneath so you can be nice and even in the shoulders. Maybe the arms come out from the shoulders now in a T, or maybe they bend into what we call goddess arms. Only if your arms can rest fully on the floor here. And final prop cue is maybe you take a blanket over top of that right hip, just for security, just for a little weight. You're welcome to have something over your eyes if you have it. And now settle in. You might choose also to turn your head to the right. If it feels more comfortable, keep it in the center. Relax your jaws. Take a long, deep breath in through the nose. Hold that breath in. And then slowly release the breath. Exhale out the mouth as you invite your body to settle into this twist. Completely releasing your body, letting it sink into your props, into the earth. Letting go, making sure you're comfortable here. That's always a key, always important. Once again, you might offer yourself a focus for the mind. Bring in a vision. Maybe it's even the face of someone you dearly love. Maybe now, since we have the heart open, you might bring in the sound of the heart center. Yam, yam, yam. Find what works for you and settle in. Just allow the body to rest in this shape, offering you some beautiful restoration, some energetic qualities that happen in the subtle body while you rest. Beautiful practice. Invite yourself deep into it. Where else can you soften? Should not be holding your body in any sense. Let your body be held. Trying to drag you back into the past or forward into the future. Offer it that tool, offer it a focus. Do your very best to stay just in the moment, of each and every moment. We just do the best that we can. Going to prepare to very slowly and mindfully transition from the supine twist. So if you have your head turned, bring your head back to center, lining up the spine. If there's something over your right hip, remove it, any weights on the body. And then slowly bring the knees back to center. Squeeze the knees and the ankles with your blanket. If you're using a prop, mindfully take it over to the right side this time. And then shift your hips about 3 inches. Pick them up and shift them to the left. All the way on your back. On an exhale, bring your knees into your chest or toward the chest. And now let them stay together, coming all the way over onto your prop. Or if you choose, all the way onto the floor. Again, bringing your knees so they can rest. Maybe your knees all the way to the ankles might be on your prop. You decide. Once your legs are settled, settle into your shoulders. Both shoulder blades should be down on the mat. If not, place something under one if it's lifted. Find that support. Maybe you bring the blanket over your left hip, just added a little weight. You might turn your head now to the left, if you choose. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, bring it back to center. Arms might be out at a T or in goddess pose, the elbows bent, or any other pose where you feel comfortable, where the arms are completely resting on the floor. Take a breath in through the nose. Exhale it out slowly out the mouth, and let that be the body's cue to just let go, to settle in, to find the stillness and the softness as you open your heart and invite this twist to bring prana all up and down the spine. Just rest. Offer your mind a focus as you desire. Can you soften or release any place else in your physical kosha, your physical layer? Can you soften the root of the tongue, the length of the tongue and the tip? Relax the jaws. invite you to slowly transition out of the pose. If your head is turned, please invite your head back to center. Line up the spine. Take any weights or props off your body. Go ahead and exhale your knees back up into the chest. This time let the blanket from your knees just drop and hug the knees into your chest, bringing the knees toward the armpits. Staying completely flat on your back body, just finding a deep stretch for your low back. Then maybe finding some movement, maybe working around on the sacrum, finding some gentle movement in circles, one way and then the other. Up to you. Good. Once again, come into the fetal position on either side as you choose. Just coming all the way over. Place the palm of your top arm on the floor. Inhale as you press up. And I'll meet you in a seat. Not getting settled into a seat, just coming up so I can show you how to set up for our final pose of this restorative session. I'm going to give you a couple of offerings here. So one is what I call the breakfast tray. So imagine someone bringing you breakfast on a beautiful breakfast tray, some nourishing food, but you're going to invite your body into a nourishing pose. You would take 2 blocks or whatever you're using and set them up so your bolster has a very sturdy position to be in. One of your blankets or a towel, whatever you're using here, can be rolled up in just a gentle blanket roll to fit under your cervical spine. So here, you come fairly close to the bolster, and I will give you another option if this one doesn't suit you. Just the very bend of your knees comes to the bolster. So the rest of your back of your calves are resting. Your seat is down, your whole spine is down, and then this blanket roll comes right into the curve of your neck. Your other blanket or your weight might come over your low belly, arms by the side. A really nice relaxing pose, somewhat of an elevated pose for the legs. If you'd like to choose something else, we again use the 2 blocks. This time they come close together on their highest side. And you set up your bolster at a very high angle. Have your blanket or towel ready for underneath your head. And this time you come really close and you let your legs elevate at a deeper incline. Same thing with a support under your neck, and maybe there's that support over your low hips. With both of these poses, the back body is completely down, arms at your sides, rotating the shoulders so the palms are up. This time maybe the arms are at a 45-degree angle, halfway between the body and the shoulders. Once you're settled into your pose, take a deep breath in through the nose and hold that breath in. It's called kumbhak. Hold it. Let that prana circulate throughout your whole self. And whenever you're ready, release it slowly out the mouth, at the same time inviting your body to just melt into the earth. Slowly letting everything go. Melting into the earth, and you might recall, if you set an intention at beginning of practice today, let that come back. Maybe that can be your focus for your mind as you rest in this pose. Relax the back of the head, the back of the neck. Let the shoulder blades be heavy and soft. Invite the whole torso and all the ribs to just sink into the earth. The sacrum and the whole pelvic bowl. The front hip creases. The back of the thighs, the hamstrings, the front of the thighs. Let them be heavy. The knees, the calves and the shins. Rest the ankles and the feet, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists and the hands, all the fingers and the toes. Relax your tongue. Let your eyes sink nice and deep into their sockets. Let them be nourished by your own body's fluids. Give them a rest. Invite yourself into deep rest. Softening, letting go. Just being in each moment as best you can. Just a short time left in this session together. If you choose to just stay in this beautiful restorative pose that you set yourself up into, please do that. Stay as long as you like. You know your schedule. If you're going to be coming out of practice with me, then you can listen to my voice. Those of you coming out of practice with me, begin to deepen and lengthen your breath. Breathing to fill the lungs as you inhale and completely empty as you exhale. Diaphragmatic breath, breathing long and deep, exhaling completely. In your mind's eye, see your physical self. Invite yourself back to your physical self, to the physical space that you've been practicing in. Move the jaws around. Bring the knees toward the chest on an exhale. Maybe you lift the arms and the legs to the ceiling and just give them a little rubbing or a little shaking, just a little jiggling, inviting prana to move back through. Good, and then bend the knees toward the chest, come back into a fetal position, either side. Take another cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Inhale as deeply as you can. Hold that breath in for just a count of 3, 2, 1. Exhale out the mouth. Let it go. Take the palm of your top arm. Set it near your chest. Press in as you lift yourself up to a seat. If you're staying in your restorative pose, stay and enjoy and relax. If you're back to a seat, bring your hands to your heart. Anjali Mudra prayer pose. Lift the sternum to meet the thumbs, opening up the heart. Feeling gratitude for yourself, for practicing in this restorative session, offering your physical layer, we call it a kosha, offering some rest for your whole physical self, offering healthy digestion for digestion of food and beverage and all that we take in. Offering your mind a focus so it can be less busy and offer you more calm. Moving the breath to find calm as well as stimulating vibrations through the body. So many benefits that you might have felt during your practice and benefits that might continue to be with you. So just find some pauses as you go about your day and notice. Thank yourself for coming. And I thank each of you for practicing with me, offering yourself this beautiful gift of Restore Yoga. Be safe, be healthy. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you. Enjoy your day. Thank you for practicing with me.